Hello and welcome to GoBowl. We are a bowling mobile app that tracks stats, which will help improve bowlers of all skill levels. I am Travis Slade, and my partner is Lele Shen, and we are super excited to share our project with you. We have created a mobile app that will help bowlers improve their performance by tracking stats and showing game history, as well as an opportunity to keep up with friends. So you can view your friends' recent sessions and keep up with them and what they're doing. And you can also see them enter their scores in live if you're not able to be there with them. And we've also added in some stat comparisons amongst friends to promote a healthy competition. Since Go Bowl is a statistics app, we are targeting bowlers who are looking to improve their game and get better and gain insight into how they're actually bowling. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to determine if you're good at shooting spares or what spares you're good at and which ones you're bad at. But Go Bowl can provide that information to our users. Whether the users are tournament bowlers, league bowlers, open, or even just casual bowlers looking to keep up with their friends, we offer features for all users. Moving on to our key functionality, we have a streamlined score entry system, which allows editing of frames, entering in your scores, which includes what pins you've knocked down. We have quick select buttons to quickly select whether you struck or got a spare or missed your spare. We also have the ability to view game history live. So as you're entering in your games, you can go back and see how you did previously. Game history is also available after a user is done bowling. They can go back and look at all their previous games because that's pretty useful. After you finished a tournament, you might not really know what went wrong, and you want to kind of isolate what games you did well in, which games you struggled in, and we provide that game history. As well as stat tracking. The stat tracking goes along with the game history. The data is all persistent on the cloud and locally, so you can close the app and continue using your phone. This is useful because bowling is a slow game. You're often sitting waiting for your turn, and in that time, people like to get on their Instagrams or their Twitter or TikTok and scroll around. And we wanted them to be able to do that and not lose data. So, data is persistent through app closure as well as on the cloud. And we also have several social media features like following friends, seeing their games and scores. You can see their profile page and compare stats, and you can see when they're live as well. Time for a live demo. We have our Go Bowl page where a user can pick between 4 different modes to start bowling. Here we're going to click the league page because that's probably the most common. So a lot of people bowl leagues. They like to know their stats for leagues. As you can see, we have 2 leagues already started. We're going to go ahead and add another one. This user decided to start a new league, which is on Wednesdays. You can see that the stats are displayed for each league just to kind of give you like a brief overview of how you're doing in each league and how many weeks you've bowled those leagues. Starting out, you can see our scoreboard at the top, and the top right is a tracker for who's watching, who's kind of like viewing you while you enter your scores. Currently, there's nobody, so we did get to just kind of focus on ourselves for a minute. This user threw a nice 7-10 split. That's just super unfortunate. No one likes to see that. But they're able to go back and look at that split, look at what pins they left using these control buttons, either next frame, previous frame, next shot, previous shot. They can also edit the score in and edit back and forth, whether it's a strike or a miss or a 7-10, as you can see that they just did in the third frame. And then they can keep going and they can keep striking. The user now has an option to end the session or start a new game. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game through another brutal split, which is just heart wrenching. The only thing worse is to do it twice in a row. That just makes you super sad. They want to go back and they want to see if they left one in the first game. They check, they see, no, they didn't leave a 7-10 split. It was just a 10 pin. So now they're able to go back to their current game and keep entering in their scores where they left off. Upon completion, the user is presented with a brief summary of their stats for that session or that series, what we like to call it in bowling. You can see your average, your high gain, your total shots, spares, what spares, whether it's a 10 pin or a 7 pin, how many strikes you threw. Just a brief overview to give you an idea of how you're doing. Moving on to the stats page, we can go in and we can see all of our history for the 3 leagues we've bowled. We just did the Wednesday trio, so we can go in and we can see that same stat summary. This time it is for all sessions combined. You can see that the high series is not available because we only bowled 2 games. In bowling, we consider a series to be 3 games, but sometimes you don't bowl 3 games. Sometimes you just bowl 2. So we exclude it from the high series because it kind of takes away from what a high series is in bowling. But you can see all your other stats. You can slide over and you can see your session history here for the first week. We bowled those 2 games. You can see the scores. You can see what pins you knocked down. Complete game history is available for both games. As you can see here, the 2 7-10 splits. You can navigate through the frames by touching or by using the control buttons down below, the arrows. You can also see the stats, the same stat page that was displayed when you ended that series, just so that you can see like how you bowled in that specific week versus other weeks. And all of it is stored in the cloud. Here we have our friend score streaming. So you can see here we have Trav's profile page. We have his stats laid out for all of his bowling combined. We can go ahead and we can search for him. He was already in here as a search. We can view a stat comparison, his stats versus mine. Now we can see his bio's empty, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and add him as a friend. Now he shows up in our friends list. We can go ahead and start bowling. Just an open session. And now you can see that that user is live. And as one friend enters a score, those scores are visible for the other friend, down to the very pins that they leave. And you can go through and you can see what your friend left or how they're bowling. This user shot a nice 257. He's going to go ahead and start another game. Game history is also available when your friends are streaming. So even if you come in halfway, you can still see how they're bowling for their previous games. Now this user ends its session. You are then prompted saying, hey, the user is no longer live. You can stick around and look through their scores if you want, or you can just exit out. Lastly, we have the home page, which is a feed of all of your friends' recent sessions that they've done. You can go in and you can see how many games they've done. You can go and click on each game and see what pins they left and what their actual scores were. Our system used React Native Expo for the front end, which is based in JavaScript. We also used Firebase for the backend, which covered authentication, storage of user games and stats, as well as live updates from Firebase to our app. We also created several custom React Native visuals, including the scoreboard that you saw for bowling games. And we used Just and State Management to create persistent data, which also worked with async storage. Thank you for joining Lele and I on this journey with GoBowl statistics. We're very excited about what we've been able to accomplish with this mobile app. In the future, we're hoping to push it out to iOS as well as Android. Currently, it's available on Android. But for now, we hope you enjoyed GoBowl, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.